Hey up, Rock God 2004. It is I. But I had a fool, didn't I? Anyway. I thought I'd do a little video on the things I've watched this past week. So I have, and here it is. Right, let's just get cracking, shall we? What did I watch first? Right. I watched this first one, and then I watched the following three through the week. I was lucky to get this with the slip. And it was brand new, sealed. It's one of the Vestron collection series, the Wishmaster collection. When I first saw this, the first one, I saw it at the pictures. And originally, when I first watched it, I thought it was absolute shite. However, on second watch, all these years later, from 1996 or 7, I absolutely loved it. Most enjoyable, very entertaining. Second one, I'm not sure whether I actually like it better than the first. Really enjoyed it. The other two, I did enjoy them, but the first two are better. But for all four films, there's not a bad one amongst them. So if you haven't got this and you fancy getting it, you probably know you can get these Vestron ones over here. Do not get the UK Vestron version of this, assuming you've got a multi-region player, because where you get 4 films in this, the UK one, you only get the one film, and you can tell the difference by the artwork on the front. The UK one's just plain black with Wishmaster in red with the little face there. It's totally different artwork. So yeah, if you've got a multi-region player and you like the Wishmaster films, get that one. Avoid the UK one. So that is, yeah, Wishmaster 1 to 4, all 4 are actually really good. Next up, I re-watched a film that I got last year because I'd only watched it once. And what a film this is. I absolutely loved it again. This is Ty West's X, the American import with the slipcover. This is such a great film. It's no secret now that the basic storyline is that this group of, I think there's 6 of them, they're in this van, and that they're driving out to the countryside, and they've hired this van to shoot a porno. It's not, don't worry, it's not like a sex film. And the bits it shows them shooting, it's just, it's acting. You can see it is. But then things take a turn for the worse, and people start getting horribly murdered. If you've not seen it, I highly recommend it. This is part of, from what I can gather, just a trilogy. So this was the first one, so I had to watch after it the second one, which is Pearl. Now, this is a prequel to X, and I like this even better than X. I love X. I think this is fantastic. The way X is shot, it's like kind of, it's like a bit washed out to make it look like it's set in the 70s. It's set in 1979, and it's like they've faded the picture a little bit, the colours and stuff, to make it look like it's like set in the 70s. Whereas this one, because this happened before it, and it's the same buildings and stuff in it, they wanted to make it look bright and colourful, like as though it was like the first part. So they shot this in Technicolor. My God, this film looks amazing. Colours are gorgeous in it. There's some quite disturbing scenes in this as well. She is an absolute genius. She is in all 3 films, and with this one, I think she co-produced it as well, and she acted in it, and she co-wrote the story. So yeah, I can't wait for the third one to come out. But X and Pearl, if you've not seen them, amazing. The third one to come out is called Maxine, which is that character, which takes place after X. So you get that one, and that one before it, and Maxine's the one afterwards. So yeah, highly recommend Pearl and X. Next up, I got one of the, I think there's only two, Grindhouse releasing Blu-rays. I did a video on my collection, my entire Grindhouse collection. If you want to go and watch that, if you're interested, it's got all the ones I've got, obviously. I think there was two I didn't have, one of them being The Swimmer with Burt Lancaster. And this next one, this, I really enjoyed this. The ending was weird, but the film itself is just absolutely batshit. I've held out for this because I didn't know there was a limited edition of only 2,000 made, and it's a 3-disc set. The one you get now is only 1 disc, and I finally got one for a pretty decent price. And this is an American hippie in Israel. Absolutely mental. I can't quite tell you. I wouldn't know how to categorize it. I really wouldn't. But it's like it's a proper sort of low budget cheese fest. It's just a strange film, but surprisingly enjoyable. In this one, the numbered, but you get the film on Blu-ray. The only thing is the cover was a bit dodgy, but they're replaceable. It's just that. You get the film on Blu-ray, and then you get, I think it's the film on DVD, but then you get a 3rd disc called The Hitchhiker. That is basically the unrated cut of an American hippie in Israel. I've not watched The Hitchhiker yet. I don't know what's different about it, but I will watch it because I actually did enjoy. It's weird, don't get me wrong, it's not the greatest, far from the greatest film on the planet, but it's really enjoyable, and I have seen far worse. Again, it's not the greatest Grindhouse, but I am so glad to have it, especially the 3-disc one. So that's an American hippie in Israel. So weird. Next one, I watched the first from the amazing subscriber mail that I got off Michael Hewitt the other day. Absolutely blew me away. I'm still looking at them now thinking, I can't believe what he sent me. I was excited to watch this. This is one I have seen. And this is the one he was a bit dubious, apologising. He did have the J card, steelbook. And this is the old Universal, The Wolfman. I do have the box set with all the films in and all the sequels on Blu-ray. I've also got the DVD box set where you get the Dracula, Frankenstein and Wolfman busts in there. That's quite rare now. That was a Christmas present years ago, but I've kept all of it because it's such a nice set. I haven't got through all the Universal box set, but from what I've seen, I watched the Draculas and the Frankensteins, and I swear the picture is absolutely amazing. I know people are going mad for the 4Ks. I can't see there being that much of a difference between the Blu-ray and the 4K, but I think it's expensive because when you get the box set of 4Ks, I think they're about 50 odd quid, and you only get like 4 films. You get that box set of the Universal ones, you can pay up to 100, 140 quid, and you've got the lot. You get like the main films like Dracula, Frankenstein, Wolfman, Mummy, Creature of the Black Lagoon, The Invisible Man, which I love, and I think you get Phantom of the Opera as well, the remake. But you get all the sequels as well. There's like a lot of discs. So I haven't actually got to this yet. And I've been dying to watch this. So when Michael sent me this, I thought I can jump the queue. I can watch it. My God, the picture on this was unbelievable. That's just the note there as well of Michael, and it's a nice little picture disc as well. I couldn't believe how good this looked. To me, this kind of did look like a 4K. It's clear, absolutely clear, pin sharp. And it's been a long time since I've watched this, and God, I absolutely love this film. And I'm going to watch this again soon because I enjoyed it that much. I idolised this film when I was a kid. So once again, Michael, thank you so much. A brilliant film and a brilliant addition, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. That's The Wolfman. And the last three titles, I'm going to show you them all in like sort of one go. These are three Hammer films. I've got 4 Hammer films, really good price for the 4. And I still have one to watch. The one I haven't watched yet, I've saved till last. I've been dying to see it. It's Dr. Jekyll and Sister Hyde. That's the one I haven't watched. So the other 3 I got starred Christopher Lee and Nastassja Kinski in It's To the Devil a Daughter. This was the very last Hammer horror film. I think it might have even been the last Hammer film till they came back years later. This was nothing like I expected at all. This, as much as I really did enjoy this, I thought it was a great story. It was amazingly acted. Nastassja Kinski's fantastic in it. Christopher Lee never does any wrong, even if the film's crap. His acting's amazing. And Richard Widmark's in it, and he is amazing in it as well. I'll show you the disc as well. It's a double disc. You get the Blu-ray and the DVD. I love these Studio Canal ones. I think they look so nice. But it didn't feel a bit anything like a Hammer film to me. I don't know whether, because it was like late, it was like about, I think it was 1976. It reminded me, I'm not saying the film's like it, but you know, like when you watch, say if you sat and watch 2 or 3 Hammer films together, say if you watch like, I don't know, Dracula, the Prince of Darkness, Frankenstein and the Monster from Hell, and say for instance, Twins of Evil, they feel like Hammer films. This felt to me like it could have been made by the same people who made The Omen. Very much in that vein is how it felt to me. So it was different for Hammer. But I really enjoyed it. I'm trying to debate whether I should tell you a basic plot. It's this: a baby is born, and it's basically promised to the devil on its 18th birthday. And the baby is Nastassja Kinski. And he's so evil. And her dad is played by Denholm Elliott. So she leaves the sort of the church where she's been staying at all her life to go and meet her dad, and he doesn't turn up. But somebody from the church has took her to meet him, so he has to go and make a phone call. He says, "Stay there, don't move." Richard Widmark comes in and grabs her, takes her away. So this bloke who brought her from the church, he's panicking looking for her. And they want her for not very nice purposes, to be honest. So they're trying to keep her hidden. That's all I'm going to say about it. But if you like The Omen, I reckon you'll like this. Really, really good film. So that's To the Devil a Daughter. And the next one I watched, which I didn't expect to like at all, to be honest, But I loved it. It was nothing like I expected. This did feel like a Hammer film. I don't know what I was expecting, but this definitely sits in nicely with all the other Hammer horror films. And this is another amazing performance by Christopher Lee, and it's Rasputin, the Mad Monk. Cracking film. I thought that this was going to be like, I don't know, like totally weird, because I thought this one was like made in late 60s, 70s. It wasn't. It's quite an early one, like early to mid 60s, I think. So that it does really fit in. And some of the actresses, like from the Dracula ones and that, are in it with him as well. Again, I'll show you the discs. I only watched this a couple of nights ago. I could watch that again now. Really, really enjoyed it. Rasputin, I think he was known to be a bit of a womanizer. And I'd forgot all about that. If you listen to the Boney M song, it's basically what they're saying. And I thought he was like going to be more of like a Fu Manchu character, like an evil. It's not like that at all, actually. But if you've not seen this and you like your Hammer films, I swear to God, this is a really, really good one to get. So that's Rasputin the Mad Monk. And the last one out of the 4 that I got, I'd not seen this, and I was really looking forward to this. This is quite a dark, sinister film. And this one stars Rita Tushingham, and it's Straight On Till Morning. Now, I really enjoyed this. This felt a bit like, but not as good, but kind of in the same vein as Alfred Hitchcock's Frenzy. Now, I enjoyed this, but I thought the ending was absolutely shite. I had to Google it, and I had to watch the extra features to confirm how it ended. And it seems to be that the general consensus is what I thought. It's just the fact that you don't definitely or definitively get told. It's like something happens and then it ends and you think, what the hell? Which to me spoiled it. Because up until that point, it was a really good film. And I think the reason it didn't feel like a Hammer one is because, like Dracula AD 72, what's the other Dracula one? Satanic Rites of Dracula. It's set in the modern time, so it's set in the 70s. And when they're set in the 70s, I know they're filmed in the 70s and 60s, but they always have this like old Gothic feel to them. They're set in like 15, 16, 1700s and stuff. But the fact it's set in the 70s, it makes it feel like a totally different company who's made them. But that's what it reminded me of anyway, like a poor man's Frenzy, really, because Frenzy's an amazing film. This is a really good film. He's really, really good. She's brilliant. I just don't like the ending. I wish they'd have given a definitive ending. But take away the ending, or when you've watched the ending, assume what you want to assume and just go with it. And if you can do that, it's actually a pretty damn good film. It's so well acted. It gets a little bit muddled at the beginning because it's like it'll show you her or him as they are now, and then you keep getting flashbacks, but there's no warning or anything, and you do piece it together. It just gets on your wick a little bit to begin with. But yeah, I think it would have been a lot better had it been a more sort of definitive ending. So there's the discs. You get the Blu-ray again and the DVD. I love that colour blue. I truly do. I've seen these before. You get like a little one of these in two of them. I think it's this one and the Dr. Jekyll and Sister Hyde. It's not much to think, I'm just saying. I'd never seen one before. So yes, I'm getting quite a canny few of these now, these Hammer ones. But they're the latest three anyway. Straight on till morning. It's the Devil a Daughter, Rasputin the Mad Monk, and the one I haven't watched yet, and I'm dying to see this, which is Dr. Jekyll and Sister Hyde. Can't wait for that one. So that is it. That's what I've watched the last week or so. Have you seen any of them, what I've watched? Do you like any of them? Do you hate any of them? Do you own any of them? Have you got them and not seen them yet? That reminds me of somebody. Comment, let me know. I always read your comments and I always reply. And I do hope you enjoyed that little spontaneous one that I decided to do. Thank you very, very much indeed for watching, all two of you. And thank you so much for subscribing. I really appreciate it. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. And I will see you very, very soon on the next one. Until we meet again, you take care of yourselves and look after each other.